You can see some of that work going on right here behind me. We even have a look from a different camera out here. It's easy to see all of the people down here on Ocean Boulevard. Easy to see that it is the height of tourism season. But the question is, are there more people here than there have been in previous years? The broken and left behind car parts tell the story of just how many accidents there have been out here. One accident even sent a car upside down into the bottom of this ditch. Parker's family says someone must know what happened to him because people don't just disappear. Tossing around debris, including pieces of aluminum roofing like this one, except many of them around here much larger than this one. And one of those pieces landed here in the Bacote's front yard. Here in Myrtle Beach, there are no people allowed in the water. The same is true for Surfside Beach and all of the beaches in Horry County. Drivers will see a lot more of these road closed signs, a lot more of these construction barrels also. If you run out of gas while driving, you can immediately lose power steering, power braking, and of course, it gets you stranded on the side of the road. There are also some plans to develop the rest of the site out here, and right now, those plans aren't quite so obvious. Right now, if you live in Horry County and you want to recycle, you have to put those recyclables in your car and take them to one of 24 recycling centers throughout the county, and that's where you have to drop them off. They have actually just asked us to move from where we are currently just because they need to use this road as an access point out to that fire. So we'll be relocating, but we'll still keep an eye on it, and we'll be keeping updates coming to you guys there in the newsroom as we get them.
It's burning very close to the farm.
That's true. You know, we are about a mile, maybe even 8/10 of a mile. We had it estimated on Google Maps actually earlier today. The good news is that right now, the fire, they believe, is moving away from the development like the farm and the other developments in the Carolina Forest area. So for those folks, although they got quite a scare yesterday when the wind was kind of blowing toward them, they feel that right now this fire is not approaching places like the farm or other places in Carolina Forest, but possibly slowly moving toward Highway 90, but at this point too far away from anything on Highway 90 to cause them some concern about threatening any homes there. And we're here along the Highway 17 bypass. The speed limit drops to 45 miles per hour here near the back gate, but using our radar gun, you can see that not everyone is paying attention to that speed limit, 53 miles per hour there. Well, now we've learned that the Highway Patrol has a team of troopers that will be working to slow down drivers.
So I go through here all the time, constantly.
Jessica Sterrett lives near the back gate intersection in Myrtle Beach, so she's noticed what's changed and what hasn't because of the construction so far.
They lowered the speed limit to 45, but I don't think people really care. I think they even go faster than the original 55 sometimes.
Driver Wayne Mayo admits he may be part of the problem.
The construction, I hadn't really paid much attention to it. I thought that it was just 45 right here at this intersection, but once you got past it, it was 55.
Sterrett would like to see more people paying attention to the speed limit. And this construction zone is now on a list of areas that's getting special attention from the Highway Patrol.
We have a team of troopers who are assigned specifically to work zones around the state, and we have one of those teams right here in the PD in the Grand Strand.
We saw some of those troopers at work today, and drivers say it does make them slow down.
It definitely does, and I've noticed that they've been out like a lot too. Just more than one on this road probably.
It definitely gets my attention, you know what I mean? Obviously they're trying to say something, trying to tell people to slow down.
This visible trooper presence comes just in time for this project's first lane closures.
People are going to have to be careful, so maybe if they see him out there, maybe they'll start being careful.
While this construction project is relatively new, the Highway Patrol troopers will be monitoring this area throughout the 3-year construction. They'll just add it to their list of other places to monitor, like the construction along Highway 378. Reporting along the Highway 17 bypass, the back gate intersection in Myrtle Beach, I'm Brandon Herring, WMBF News. Yeah, Michael, I just got off the phone with Horry County Police Sergeant Robert Kegler. He tells me all 6 of those suspects are students here at Carolina Forest High School. 4 of them are juveniles, 2 of them are of adult age. Now, he tells me that police were called out here this morning to investigate that bomb threat here at Carolina Forest High. They did not find any explosives, but they are taking that threat and more than a dozen others this year very seriously.
My heart is It's still going.
Nikki Haley was still worked up even several minutes after hearing about a bomb threat at Carolina Forest High School. She has a sister in 11th grade there.
My immediate reaction was, is she okay and is everyone else okay? Because I take it seriously at all times.
The threat came from a note saying a bomb would go off around 10:45 this morning. The school was evacuated and searched, and students returned to class by 11:30.
He texts me, Mom, come pick me up, there's a bomb threat.
When Marcy Duhan heard about the threat, she did not rush to the school though. Instead, she called to check on the situation and heard students would be returning to class. So obviously, there are different reactions to the threats lately, especially since there have been a lot at Horry County schools since November.
And 5 altogether over at St. James High School, 2 at St. James Middle, 1 at Blackwater, 2 at Forest Brook, 1 at Socastee, and 1 here today.
There have been a few more in Myrtle Beach, too. Duhan figures the threats are pranks, and she has an idea on how to fix it.
I think they should have cameras so they can figure out who's doing this.
Other parents say they'd like to see the students forced to make up the missed time, like snow days. Horry County Police Sergeant Robert Kegler says a television spot that could begin airing next week will target students in hopes of cutting down on future threats, and he says the threats will always be fully investigated.
We are dedicated to not getting complacent on any of these calls.
And it was actually surveillance video from inside the school today that helped police make the arrest. They say they looked at that video, then they did some investigation of their own, talked to some students, and by the end of the day, more or less, they were able to make those arrests late this afternoon. We just got word a few moments before this broadcast. In fact, we are told that 4 of those students are now in the Department of Juvenile Justice. The other 2 have been taken to J. Reuben Long. We'll find out more about their charges tomorrow. For now, I'm live at Carolina Forest High School. Brandon Herring, WNBF News. Well, Laura, the race is still going on right here behind me at Darlington Raceway. And you know, there's always a lot of excitement out here, and the fans have been here enjoying that. And earlier today, I caught up with some who are doing just that, enjoying the race at a place we rarely get to see, the infield.
It's the only place to be. I've lived here all my life, and I've sat in the stands, and then when you come in here, it's a total different experience.
Joanne Curtis has been enjoying the Darlington race on the infield with her family and friends for 30 years. She says setting up an RV combines the comforts of home with the atmosphere of the race, and that comes with lots of perks.
You get to hang out with all your family and friends.
Yep.
You don't have to stand in line to use a bathroom. We get to bring as many coolers as we want. We get to mix cocktails anytime. Eat as much food as you want. Be shaded from the heat.
I like Clemson football games, and this is a lot like it because everybody just gets so into it and they're so excited to be here.
And when you're already on the infield, you don't have to leave anything to get to the track. It's also probably the only place you'll find guys building a PVC pipe platform to watch the race. Clearly, one advantage to being on the infield is having a view like you won't get anywhere else at the track.
We got turn 3 and 4 right here, but we're hoping that we can see a little bit, you know, on the sides and the back turns.
For some, that uncertainty about the view is the only infield drawback.
It's hard to see in here, but it's you party here and watch the race in the stands.
But for others, it's the best of both worlds.
We're right in the thick of it. We're right in the center of the action, so this is the place to be.
And when it's all over, Curtis makes sure the fun isn't spoiled.
We take care of all the people and make sure they can get home or spend the night, and we want safety as a priority, you know, for the family.
Now back out here live as the race continues. If you're wondering what it takes to get onto the infield at Darlington, it's almost as easy as just reserving a ticket, but space is limited because people can hold their spaces from year to year. Reporting live at the Darlington Raceway in Darlington, I'm Brandon Herring, WNBF News.